right, so we got Goddess Ludociel, Margaret, whatever you want to call her. We have her actual translated abilities, passive, grace, etc. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't really know where I would place her. I mean, she's good, but her unique and grace kind of, they're like throwing me off a little bit. So her passive, she increases the basic stats of goddess race allies by 8% every time an ally uses a stance or buff skill, up to 40%. Okay, so I mean, here's the thing, right? If you use a buff skill, you're screwed. Yeah, that's it. You're screwed because Bond, he has rupture on his 6 out of 6 ultimate. So unless you're like facing a 5 out of 6 or less Bond, this isn't gonna help you like at all, because you have to use a stance or buff skill. Now you can use a stance with Tarmio on the goddess team, but I mean that's it. Like, that's it. Besides that, you have a buff skill with Margaret, you have a buff skill with Goddess Elizabeth. So I don't know. Her passive is very weird. Very, very weird. I don't know why they made it like this, because they know Bond 6 out of 6, he still has rupture. So I don't know. That was weird. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. But the stance part is fine. It's just the buff skill part. I mean, if you don't face a 6 out of 6 Bond again, you're good. You should be fine. But I mean, otherwise you're a little screwed. All right. So then the grace. So they actually did end up changing the grace for Margaret Ludociel, and it's a lot different. I would say it's probably, I would say it's not as good as regular Ludos, actually. I mean, it's okay, but it's not, I don't think it's as good. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as the regular Ludos. So, Grace of Flash, when attacking using skills, for every stance or buff effect on the enemy, increases the hero's attack by 5%. And there literally is no cap. There's no cap to this, so it can just keep going up, keep going up, and keep going up. So, all right, so here's the thing, right? It says when attacking using skills, right? For every stance or buff effect on the enemy, right there, that's weird. I mean, it could just be like, you know, lost in translation, but you have to attack using, or is it the enemy? So it says when attacking using skills, right? But if you're attacking for every stance or buff effect on the enemy, so they have to have a stance or buff effect for this grace to proc. So if they just use, or is it, see, that's the thing, or is it just saying when attacking using skills for every stance or, but I don't know, it's weird. It's very, very weird. I'm assuming it's, you know, you have to attack using skills, and they have to have a stance or buff effect. Just weird, just very weird. This whole setup is just weird. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a big fan. I mean, I guess we'll see when, you know, she drops in game, and you know, I guess that's all we have to wait for, when she drops in game and we see, you know, YouTubers, content creators use her, and you know, I just have to be patient. But her actual skills, her buff skill is actually really good. So her first skill is a charge AoE. So in my previous video, I actually said she had despair. That was wrong. It's a charge AoE. The reason why I thought it was despair, by the way, is because despair has similar, you know, it has similar, what do you want to call it, multiplier. It has a similar multiplier to it. That's why I thought it was despair. See, 325, and this has 325 as well. So I was wrong with that one, so I apologize. But it's actually AoE charge, and I mean, it's not the worst effect, but it definitely could be, you know, like, she's not a, I don't know, because charge is good, but I feel like it would be better if it was just amplify or something like that, right? Because she buffs herself, so having an amplify AoE probably would be better than charge. I don't know, it's just very, very weird, right? So charge AoE skill, you know, pretty good, I guess. If you get her grace and her unique to actually proc, it can actually do really, really good damage, but otherwise it's probably not going to hit as hard as people might think it would. So her Breath of Bliss is a buff skill, increases the basic stats of all allies by 20% for 3 turns, which is really, really good. This is at rank 3, by the way. So increases the basic stats of all allies by 20% for 3 turns, increases attribute advantage damage to enemies by 50%, and then decreases attribute disadvantage damage taken from enemies by 40%. This buff skill honestly is probably one of the best buff skills in the game, just like because of the fact that it buffs up your basic stats, increases attribute damage, and decreases attribute disadvantage damage taken. That's really, really good. Like, that's a really, really strong buff skill for this unit. I mean, really, when you look at her, it's kind of like she's a support slash DPS type of unit. Like, she's meant to be used with the goddess race because of her passive, but then you also have her skills, which, you know, is a support, and it also has, you know, charge AoE. So I'm guessing that this unit, I'm assuming that this unit will be useful for when we actually get another goddess like festival unit, probably. I mean, she's not gonna be bad. I don't think she's gonna be like bad. I just think she's not gonna shine as much because you kind of have to think when using this unit. It's not like, you know, she's Bond, and Bond right then and there is just OP busted broken, right? You have to actually think about what team you're using, how you're using her, etc., etc. Because if you use this buff, it's gonna give everybody on the team that attribute advantage damage. So, you know, if you're running, I don't know, you don't really have to run goddess race allies. So if you run like the one Escanor with her, he's gonna hit hard against red units. He might actually kill Bond. Like, I'm not even joking. He might actually kill Bond. It's actually insane. Without like the other Ludo, he could actually do some really, really good damage. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very weird kit. And then the ultimate is a single target sever, which, okay, sure. But I don't know. Her whole like kit is very, very strange. I don't think it's, again, I don't think she's gonna be bad. I'm not gonna sit here and say she's gonna be the worst unit in the game, but she's definitely probably gonna like maybe not shine as much as some of the other units in the game. Like, you know, she's very similar, I would say, to Arthur in a way, where she has this, you know, AoE charge. She also has a skill that can help out the team, and then her passive, right, is for goddess race allies. Well, primarily increases the basic stats of goddess race allies, but since she herself counts as one, even if you use her on a, you know, a different team, it's only gonna proc for her. So it's not the worst, right? It'll still proc for you know, Margaret Ludo, but it's not gonna proc for anyone else. So I don't know. Very, very weird card, but I mean, it's not the worst. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of it. I think it is gonna take some time to get adjusted to her, but you know, she is different, right? She is unique, she is different, so we will see how she performs in the game. But yeah, guys, with that said, that's gonna be the end of the video. Leave a like for the algorithm. Comment below if you're excited for this unit. You think she's better now that we have actual translated skills, or you think she's still pretty mediocre, one of the worst festival units in the game? Let me know. But as always, you guys already know, I will see you all next time.